Well, hey, Connexus, it's clear that we continue to move through an unprecedented time with unknowns, and unknowns create fear, anxiety. They can creep into our hearts. And I want to take a few minutes and share with you a passage of scripture that's been really helpful to me. Timothy receives this letter, and in 2 Timothy 1:7, it says, "For God did not give us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline." One translation says, "of a sound mind." And for me, it's really interesting how in this letter, what Paul writes here is kind of two things juxtaposed against each other. On one hand is God doesn't give you this spirit of fear. Okay, now I know that. Well, what did he give me? He gave me power, spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline or a sound mind. And I think those three things create a great framework for you and for me when it comes to how we handle something like this. The first thing he shares is power. That Jesus actually said that he gives us, when we follow him, the power of his spirit in our lives, that we can pray to the Spirit of God to strengthen us and to remind us of the hope that we have. And we have an incredible hope. We want to remind ourselves of it, and that's powerful for us. And the reason is that when things are changing, we're reminded that there are things that never change, that Jesus is the same today as he was yesterday, as he is forever. God's been faithful to us in the past. He's going to be faithful to us in the future. We have a living hope. And in the midst of something like this, we've got to remind ourselves of this, the hope that we have, because we have a hope and then we build our faith. And we want to be reminded of the hope that we have, and that helps us build our faith. And so there are a number of ways you can do that. I want to encourage you to maybe read scripture more than you have in the past. The truths of scripture are going to remind you of who God is. Maybe take some extra time to pray. Maybe you're going to begin to pray as a family or as a couple and you've never done that before. That's going to be a gift to the people around you, to be reminded that God at the end of the day is in control and he knows what's at the other end of this. One of the other ways that I get reminded of the truth of who God is by listening to worship music. Maybe you're going to turn Netflix off, you're going to turn Fox News off, and you're going to listen to some worship music and be reminded of what you know is true. These are just a few of the ways that we can be reminded of the power that we have and the truth that we have and the truth that we carry. Now, he talks about power and he talks about a spirit of love. And love is essential to us as human beings. And a circumstance like this often tempts us to isolate, but we want to experience God's love and we can experience his love through others. That's one of the ways that we can do it. So continue to connect with people, reach out to them, text them, call them. Maybe your small group's going to meet online. Maybe you're going to join one of our Facebook location groups for Barrie, Orillia, or Midland. You can join those in the search bar at Facebook. Just search Connexus and then the location. Connect with us on our online platforms. Join us online on Sunday mornings. All ways that you can continue to connect with people and experience love. But then you want to experience that love so that you can share it. Scripture says that people will know that we're followers of Jesus by our love. This is a unique opportunity for you and I to be for people. People will know that Jesus is for them until they know that we are. And we have a spirit of power, and then we have this spirit of love, love that we experience, love that we share. And what a unique time for us to share it with our communities. I think it's such an opportunity and such a really powerful time for us to do that. So that's power, and then love, and then what about self-discipline or a sound mind? Well, we want to act with wisdom. You know, in an unprecedented time, you want to make wise decisions. Let's be the kind of people who make wise decisions when it comes to the advice we get from those in government, when it comes to our planning and our preparation. We don't want to be hoarders. We want to be people who are planning appropriately. We want to be making wise decisions about what we do, how we spend our time in order to keep ourselves healthy and the people around us healthy. So what a great framework for us, not a spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind. I hope that's helpful to you. It's been helpful to me. I want to just remind you that God's for you, that we're for you, and want to remind you that we have a living hope, that fear might be contagious, but so is hope. Let's continue to lean into that today.